Section 2.7 is about the median, the mode, and the range. Before we begin, let's define those real quick. The median is the middle number, but it's the middle number when everything's written from least to greatest. All right, so when everything's written in order, the median will be the middle number. Okay, so the median is the middle number. If there's an even amount of numbers, you'll have to find the average, the middle of two numbers in your set. If it's an odd amount of numbers, it'll be a number that is already given to you, and we'll go through something like that. All right, the mode is the number that occurs the most. And then the range is the difference between the biggest number and the smallest number. And we said difference was subtraction, so we're going to take the largest number we have, largest number we have, to minus the smallest number we have. Okay, and that'll be our range. All right. So here we go, example 1. Find the median and the mode in this here. The table shows the age of 7 students participating in a music recital. Find the median and mode of the data. All right, the median we said was a middle number when the numbers are listed in order. So it looks like I have 8, that's the smallest one, 9, 10, another 10, 8, 9, 2 10s, 11, 12, and 13. We wanted to find the median, so let's look. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 terms in this, 7 numbers that they gave us here. All right, and remember when I said if there's an odd one, if there's an odd number, it's going to be one of these guys that we've written down. Okay, so the middle number here is, if you think about, if we have 7 people out on the playground, all right, and we want to have even teams, and somebody can be all-time offense. If you're playing pickup game of football, somebody's all-time quarterback. All right, so it'll always be on the offensive side of the ball. So if you think about that, we're going to have 3 on each side of the ball and 1 all-time offense. So if we count 1, 2, 3, this 10 here is going to have to be the middle guy, the all-time offense guy, because I have 1, 2, 3 over on this side, and I have 1, 2, 3 over on that side. So our median in this case is 10. All right. What if I subtracted one of these numbers, though? It's to pretend we didn't have a 13. If we had an even amount of numbers, we would have to find the middle of 2 numbers that have given. I believe this is a 12 here. Okay. So think about this. If I counted over 1, 2, 3 and said this guy was the middle now, well, this only has 2 on this side and this has 3. Same thing if I chose this one, then it'd be 2 on this side and 3 on this side. So that wouldn't be good. So we'd have to find the middle of these 2. Luckily, that's the same number, so they're both going to be 10. But if they were different numbers, we'd add them up and we would divide by 2. So to give a better example of that, if this was, instead of this number being a 10, if this was 9, so now our median would be the one that's in between these 2. So we'd say, well, 9 plus 10 is 19 divided by 2 is 9.5, and that would be our median. So if there's an even amount of numbers, we're going to have to find the middle of 2 numbers. If there's an odd amount of numbers, it's going to be the number, it's going to be one number that's given to us, okay? Now they wanted us to find the mode. The mode is the number that occurs the most. So which out of these occurs the most? There are 2 10s, aren't there? And nothing else repeats itself, so 10 occurs the most. So 10 is our mode, and it just happened to be our median as well. All right. Finding the range. We said the range was the difference from the biggest to the smallest, right? So we wanted to go our biggest value minus the smallest value, right? So Isaac scored 85, 134, 97, 162, 68, and 83 points each time he played his favorite video game last week. Find the range of the data, then write a sentence that describes how the data varies. Okay? Well, we'll just work on finding the range here. Remember, we want to take our biggest value, which looked like it is 162, and its smallest value, which was 68. So 162 minus 68. And once we figure that out, we'll find the range. So let's go 162 minus 68. Looks like we're going to have to borrow, right? 4, we have to borrow again. And that'll be 9, so 94. Our range will be 94. That means if we wanted to write a sentence describing how the data varies a little bit, is saying that, well, depending on whether we're playing well in our game, our scores are gonna vary either from 0 to 94 um, points, depending on whether we're playing well or whether we're playing bad. Okay, so here's where we're gonna have to put it all together. Find the mean, median, mode, and range of the speed displayed in that table right there. All right, well, we learned how to find the mean in the last chapter. Remember, we said the mean was to add them all up and divide by the number we have. So the mean means that we need to add all these up. We need to add 67 and 43 and 74, 67, 82, 73, 70, 80. Add all those up and divide by the number that we have. And I'm going to add all these up. And when I added all of those up, it was 544. And then we divide by how many we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 numbers. So when I divide that by 8, I get 68. So 68 is my mean. My median now, remember, we had to write down which ones. We need to write them in order, right, from smallest to biggest. So it looks like 43 is our smallest. And then it goes 67. And there's another 67. There's two 67s, I believe. And there's a 68. And then there's a 70. And then there is a 73, 74, and 82. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. We want to find the median in this case. Remember I said when it's even, we're going to have to split the teams evenly. So if we have 8 people on the playground, we want even teams, we're going to have 4 on each team, right? So there better be 4 numbers on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 numbers on each side. And in this case, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers on each side. So in this case, to find our median, we're going to have to find, well, what's the middle number between 68 and 70? We could add 68 and 70 up, or you can just think to yourself, well, I know the number in between those two is 69. So our median in this case is 69. Okay? Again, you could add 68 and 70 and then divide by 2, and we'd also find the middle number as well. The mode is the one that occurs most often. If you look at our numbers here, it looks like 67 occurs twice, and nothing else repeats itself, so 67 is our mode. If we would have had another number that repeated itself, we could have 2 modes. If no numbers repeated ourselves, we just put no mode. And the last thing we need to do is find the range. The range was the biggest value we have minus the smallest value we have. All right, and we turn around and we subtract these two. 82 minus 43. I have to borrow 39 to be our range. So our speeds vary by 39 miles per hour. Anyway, I hope this helps. We'll see you in class.